Joining us now is Ohio Attorney General Mike Dewine. He is a surrogate for Senator Jeff Sessions, who obviously served with Jeff Sessions in the U.S. Senate as well. Mr. Attorney General, thanks so much for being with us. And we should say Jeff Sessions does have his paperwork in, so the Ethics Office is not speaking about Senator Sessions here in this regard. But beyond that, by most accounts, he's due for a tough hearing. What's he prepared for?
Well, you know, I have a unique view of Jeff Sessions because I served with him for a decade on the Senate Judiciary Committee, and I think I know his heart. I think I know what kind of person he is, and he's a very, very good person. Frankly, he's going to be, I think, a great Attorney General because he really understands what's going on back in the communities. One of the things that I know he's going to do is put an emphasis on the violent crime that we're seeing in our cities and be a real partner with local law enforcement.
Mr. Attorney General, this is likely to come up also during the hearing, we're told. During the campaign, Donald Trump had said quite often that he's going to put a special prosecutor in place and ultimately jail Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump has backed off of that since the election. But the top Democrat on the Judiciary Committee, where Jeff Sessions will be where he'll be having his hearing, Dianne Feinstein, she told the New York Times that she is going to ask Jeff Sessions about that because the Attorney General ultimately would have the decision on whether or not to put in place a special prosecutor. Where does Jeff Sessions stand on that?
Well, he will answer that question and many other questions. You know, what's so interesting about this is Jeff has been on this Judiciary Committee. The same Judiciary Committee members who are going to be asking him questions, of course, have served with him, some for, you know, the entire 20 years that he's been on that committee. So they know him very well. I think you'll have, you know, any confirmation, you have tough questions, and Jeff Sessions is prepared for tough questions.
You know, you made a point of saying you know his heart and he's a good person. That seems to be in reference to troubles he has had in the past. He was denied a federal judgeship in the U.S. Senate in 1986 because there were allegations that he had made jokes about the KKK, the NAACP, and there have been accusations he had made a racial slur about a lawyer he was working with back then. He said some of those were jokes. He said others that he denied. But my question to you is, does he need to apologize for these things in this hearing? The things that didn't get him confirmed in 1986, do you think he needs to apologize before the Senate this week?
Well, as you know, there's some of the same people who were there 30 years ago when that occurred, or more than that when that occurred. I certainly was not there. I would just tell you that this is a man who is not biased, he is not prejudiced. This is a man who understands the Constitution. Every time I saw him approach an issue, and we didn't always agree on every issue, no one ever does, but I thought he always did it very deliberately and with you know, firm conviction. You know, any allegation that this man is a racist or anything like that, it's just simply not true. You know, I know his heart. I've seen him. I've talked with him day after day after day. You get to know someone after 10 years when you're sitting right beside them on the Judiciary Committee, as he and I did.
You support Jeff Sessions. He's facing a Republican majority in the Senate. Do you think there is anything at this point that will derail his confirmation?
Well, no, I don't think there is. You know, this is someone who that committee knows very well. You know, he's been on that committee for several decades. So it's not like you know, this is someone they've never seen before.
Right.
I think Jeff will be confirmed, and I think these, you know, the allegations and any slowdown that we might see is exactly what the American people were saying.
Mr. Attorney
you know, in
General,
November they were sick of as partisan politics.
Mr. Attorney General Mike Dewine from Ohio, thanks so much for being with us. Appreciate it, sir.